Hey everybody, just wanted to make a quick video to run through a few things. You may have seen this in the newsletter this week, in your email, or in the physical mail. I know some of you got that mailed to you, but in case you didn't, I want to just update you on the big three. Now, the big three is some language we've been using behind the scenes to talk about three huge projects we have on our plate right now. One is the Brazil church plant. The second one is our new building space for children. And then third is my sabbatical. Uh, what's going on with each of those? With the Brazil church plant, quite frankly, more than I could even begin to cover in this brief video. But let me just hit the high points. One, our denomination has partnered together with Glauber's denomination at a national level, and they are working to get Glauber here quickly and with ease. They have more manpower, they have more legal experience than I do, or our session, or anybody at our church. And so the two denominations have put their heads together and they're devising a way to get Glauber here. It may be very strange and very creative. For example, one of the options that's been floated is for Glauber to come here as as a missionary of his own denomination. So we don't know how this is going to play out, but we are still committed to bringing Pastor Becker here to be our Brazilian church planter. So be praying for that. Now, in light of that, we have hired Glauber full time as a distance church planter. What in the world is a distance church planter? Somebody who's going to be developing relationships with the people here in our Brazilian community day in and day out. Glauber's going to be on the phone. He's going to be on Zoom. He's going to be interacting with people. Quite frankly, in a lot of ways, I've been interacting with you over the last couple of months to develop relationships, to do the work of discipleship, and to cultivate that small group community that is blossoming into a church. So a lot of exciting things there. Glauber will soon be our first employee that lives outside of the United States, but the goal is to get him here as soon as possible. So that's the first of the big three. Second is the new building. We have hired a consulting firm led by a guy named Adam Martin, solid Christian guy, love him to death. He's going to be leading us through a process called a feasibility study. That's where he meets with our key children's ministry leaders and begins to paint a picture for the future of family and children's ministries at Faith Presbyterian Church. He'll be working closely with people like Pastor Idolo, Amy Crane, my wife, and others who are in leadership in our children's ministry, so that we can have a clear vision of where we're headed, not just with this building, but with actually our whole property. The goal is that within 60 to 90 days, he's going to present a master plan to our session that shows our entire property and says, here are the buildings that we will need down the road to do the ministry God has called us to. This is the guy who sees buildings not as a means unto themselves, but as tools that can be used for good ministry. He's a gospel-oriented guy, and we're really excited to be partnering with him. The next step after that will be architectural drawings. So we're on our way. We're moving forward. Even though children's ministries aren't meeting in person right now, we're moving toward that in the future. So that's the second of the big three. Now, the third of the big three is my sabbatical. We have postponed my sabbatical to next summer. And I've heard a whole host of you, including people on the session and on my sabbatical committee, who are very concerned about that, who really want me to take some time off, to not get burned out, et cetera, et cetera. I have that same concern, but frankly, I have that concern for the entire pastoral staff at Faith. I have pressed upon the staff of Faith to take some time off during this summer season. Even with everything going on with coronavirus, the people on our staff need to take a break. I'm going to model that, and here's how. I'm about to take 3 weeks off. Starting next Monday, what we've done is, where we had preachers lined up from our area to preach during my sabbatical, we just kept them on the schedule. We're not going to be flying guys in like we had planned, just because of expense and difficulty of travel, and some of them just don't feel safe doing that right now. But for the guys that are real close to us, they're still going to preach, and I'm going to take those Sundays off. And so you'll still see us. We may go out of town for a little bit, but we plan to be at worship generally with the whole family. We'll be around, but we're going to be taking these next 3 weeks off. Following Sunday, I'll preach on Sunday, and then I'll be taking some time off. So thank you for your care, for your love. Thank you for offering me the sabbatical. We definitely feel like we need it, and we look forward to it. But with everything going on, it just makes sense to delay it until next summer. Well, those are the big three. That's what's going on with them. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, ask Pastor Idolo, contact Beth. we're here for you. Or look at our newsletter that Mary Frances Bowling produced for us. It's really awesome and very helpful. Love you guys. I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Remember to register. Registration ends in let's see what time it is, in less than 2 hours. So if you could register by tonight, we'd really appreciate that. And we'll see you on Sunday. Love you guys.